Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Adapted Life podcast with Julie Hasselberger. That's me. I'm happy to be back and chatting a little bit about some things that have really helped me over the years with just dealing with the adversity and the things that I have been dealt. Um, I sometimes get questions a lot like, how did you do it? How do you do what you do? And it's really not an exact science. I wasn't given superpowers, you know what I mean? I had to learn and evolve myself as different things were kind of thrust upon us. So, as time has gone by, for some reason that I still am trying to figure out for myself and do a lot of deep searching, but for some reason I began to really take stock of things that were drawing me in, like really paying attention to things that were seemingly wanting me to pay attention to them. Um, Synchronicity, just, things that would just pop up and I would be like, hmm, that's very interesting, kind of thing, right? So, my focus in light of all the adversity and the exhaustion, it really just started to shift to figuring out who am I and what is my purpose out of all of this, right? So that kind of thinking just sort of evolved. Um, I don't I don't know why, and it wasn't that I wasn't unhappy doing what I was doing, but I always felt that there was something more. So becoming a special needs mom, really having to let go of my career that I thought I was going to love until I retired. I lost my identity. We talked about that in past episodes. Depression and anxiety have been a continual um, uphill battle for me, and I'm always assertively taking the lead in that. Mental health is very, very important, and I'm always an advocate for it. And sometimes it's been pretty tough. So um, I always feel like I put myself into a constant place. I'm always there to support other people, even people who really didn't see me. You wear yourself into exhaustion, realizing, hey, you know what? Why am I doing that? They don't value me. They don't see me. There's no reciprocation. Some things you just have to let go, and that's kind of what I started to do is just sort of let go and shift in terms of me supporting me, right? So I'm just a kind of I've always been intrigued, with things like the law of attraction, abundance, manifestation, the value of gratitude, vision planning, goal setting. Even in my early days when I was in HR, human resources, the thing I loved the most in my job was succession planning and strategic planning and learning how to goal set and make positive changes and be productive and see a bottom line impact on productivity and positivity. And now these days I guess they're calling it like employee engagement, and I would have loved that. I would have loved to be in HR right now, like really dealing with this employee engagement stuff that my husband, who's much more introverted and logical minded, is just like, "Ugh, this stuff drives me nuts." But anyway, that's the kind of stuff that I was always drawn to, right? Just looking into those concepts. So I've always had hope, always believed that there was a way to do something even if it felt impossible. You could figure out how to make it not impossible. But many times depression and hopelessness and self-hate, negativity, and all of those things, they can really, really chisel away at somebody's self-worth. And I've seen it happening to people that I love. I've seen scarcity mentality, negativity, substance abuse, the inability to face things like depression, um, and things like trauma, just closing in, not facing the reality of their issues, substance abuse. Did I say that already? Just negativity in general about the world. Constant complaining. It's really hard, and it made me kind of see a path to a different road because I knew that that is not where I wanted to be for the rest of my beautiful life. In that kind of a mindset, that is just to me a fear-based mindset, and it's very dark, and there's no way out of it. Like it's like I always liken it to being underneath a heavy, heavy weighted blanket, those weighted blankets for stress, and you just can't get out. So I started trying to peel myself out of that mindset because I would get really upset and it would be hurtful almost. So I explored meditation, and I think I started, and that's what my my first thing I'm going to talk about. Yeah, I'll get to that. So I explored meditation starting probably about 3 years ago. And back then, I think I just went onto an app on my phone called Simple Habit. And I started just trying to sit and listen just for short periods of time, excuse me, there's going to be a slight hum because it's summertime. It's super hot in here. I need to turn this air conditioner on behind me. Please hold. Okay, so yeah, I'm 56 and I get hot really easy. So I'm so sorry if that. Hopefully, the noise is a little isn't too loud. We'll see. Anyway, I started looking into that and mindfulness practices and just how to sit and breathe. And I found miscellaneous little short meditations. I would find some on YouTube, and even just try to just sit and just do breathing. And I had no experience with meditation, and I would just sit and I look back over my videos on my channel, my YouTube channel over the past few years, and I've seen a big correlation between my inner struggles of, being hypervigilant and stressed out and upset and having such a heavy responsibility to my searching and seeking for peace. In the things that I do, right? So I walk the dogs, and I often video the trees, and I just try to be peaceful, and I'm very insightful to what's happening with nature. I record the birds. I'm always talking about the change of the seasons. The snow is fantastic. The trees are fantastic. And it's like as the years go by, it's like, okay, here we are again. Julie's telling everyone the snow is fantastic. The trees are fantastic. But it's just me trying to be in the moment, and it's fascinating that I was doing it before I realized, like, actually what I was doing. So when I wasn't busy at a doctor's office or taking Dana to the hospital, therapy sessions, dealing with insurance companies, et cetera, I would just start videotaping and then upload these videos about daily life in my shoes. And that's kind of how the channel just evolved. And truly, it's mostly in a raw fashion, just sort of sharing things that I saw in the moments that I picked up my camera as I was simultaneously just trying to figure out a way to deal with my own inner anxiety and stress and pressure. So I was honestly taken aback when my subscriber numbers grew past like 10, because it felt very personal and kind of boring. Like, I don't know, I just felt like nobody's going to want to hear what I have to say or see what I see. And it was just personal. And then people began to let me know, hey, I love your videos. You really inspire me. You give me such hope. And they they were walking the journey with me. And I was just like, really? That's amazing. Thank you. Like, welcome. Welcome to my inside world where I am. And Daniel started to get a little fan club, and it was really cool, letters and cards, and people would reach out and leave such incredible comments. I didn't have any negative experiences really at all with YouTube. Just encouragement, support, and just people expressing just, I don't know, it was like parallel love and encouragement and support. All areas of the world were reaching out, right? I mean, I've got friends from everywhere. It's just amazing. So I still don't really know where my journey is leading me, but I do know for certain that there are many, many people just like me caring for someone who needs them for every single part of their human life, right? Overcoming um, what did I write here? I'm trying to read. Overcoming mental and physical illnesses due to stress on their minds and bodies that surpasses any, this people like me, yeah. Overcoming the illnesses and the things that happen as the caregiving carries on throughout the years, right? I said it earlier, I'm 56. I'm not a young, 28-year-old mom, but yet I'm still lifting, carrying, changing diapers, and just dealing with that hypervigilance, which it can really break a person down. So it's hard trying to make sense of how to manage financially when you can't work because you have to be on call all the time, and things are just difficult, and your caregivers are inconsistent, and if you even have caregivers, and you're just trying to deal with the astronomical increase in the financial burden of medical expenses, and making things accessible, getting special vehicles, educational issues with schools, special everything, medication, equipment, supplies, schooling, and just dealing with the e- extreme increase in all things. So it's a lot. And then you have to try to make sense of your own relationships, and are they surviving? You know what I mean? Marital relationships often suffer for people with special needs children, or families. It's hard. um, how are you going to be there and be supportive for everybody else that you love when you're 24/7 caring for someone? um, so it's a lot, and I've always felt so alone in my little bubble here until I started getting little connections with folks, and it just inspired me so much. Also, how to find a path to their own inner happiness and joy, despite the fact that problem after problem keeps bopping them on the head. It's like every time you turn around, there's another issue. The wheelchair broke. This happened. I got to call for that. I got to get to the pharmacy. I got to, you know, whatever. And it's at whatever point in your life you are. I mean, my son is 24. Somebody could be dealing with a toddler who's disabled. The amount of stress is still huge. And as time went on, my community grew. So it grew from my support group on Facebook, which I've had since 2008, which has like 2,000 families, just a private little support group, to people who actually connected with me on my YouTube channel and watched. It's amazing how many people would just say, "Hey, I watch your channel," even locally. "Oh, I watch your videos. I love them." I'm like, "Oh, wow, that's so great." It's so embarrassing. It's like, as of this writing, my YouTube channel last night had 8,530 subscribers, and I'm so grateful for that. Like, I'm just feeling so blessed, and it's what led me to podcasting. Anyway, I began listening to my intuition. And your intuition talks to you all the time, but I really, really began listening to my intuition much more intently about 3 years ago, right when I began seriously meditating and starting to really focus on what was happening when I was in stillness. I never had done that before, just really gone still. And then consequently, I started reading. I would listen to a guided meditation. Somebody would suggest a book. I have every book by Brene Brown. Brene Brown. She's fantastic about vulnerability. I started listening to podcasts probably around the same time I started meditating, and I found some that really stuck with me. Some some were not so much something I really want to stay with forever, but like I've been listening to a podcast by a lovely lady. Her name is Kathy Heller, and it's called "Don't Keep Your Day Job." And she basically started a podcast to try to inspire people to develop, you know, a career and focus based on their inner purpose, and finding something that really, really brings them joy, but also brings them an income and sustainable life that's purposeful. So she was really interesting. She interviews a lot of different people, and it's through the people that she interviews that I learned about several books that I started reading, from Gay Hendricks, from lots of different authors that are now in my toolkit. And I just started kind of like listening to the synchronicity of it. Like, okay, so she's talking about this, and oh, this happened in my life. So then I would read the book, and I'm like, there's some reason why I need to read this book right now. And then I would find it and I would highlight it. Um, so I took notes, lots and lots of notes. I started writing and writing, journaling. Um, Anytime something sparked in me, I would write it down. I'm listening, I'm learning, I'm absorbing and reading more and more and more concepts, right? So all of this is in alignment with finding that true purpose, finding your real true purpose on this earth. And living from your heart, discovering how to live a wholehearted life, pushing into your goals, how to achieve abundance, not only financially, but in all ways in your life. And that it's possible and it exists and it's right there, right? Right here, right here, right, right here, right here. It's right here. So you just have to learn how to manifest. And yeah, so that really intrigued me. So I kept going. I kept going and kept going. So the synchronicity of everything that my intuition was presenting, it was really becoming a way of life for me amongst my daily life. So now I'm in a bigger rhythm of all of that. I developed a morning ritual. I write more. Poems are coming to me again. I used to write a lot, and somehow the flow of writing has come back, which I thought was gone, which is fantastic. Creating this podcast, this grew out of my desire to get out of underneath of that heavy weighted blanket and into the light and healing and the loving kindness that connecting with the universe brings. I want to connect and I want to share my story and I want to know that other people are out there who are also struggling and are searching just like I am. Or maybe they just need some somewhat of a hug, what's the right word? Like a virtual hug, I guess, that they're not alone. You know what I mean? It's not easy to be doing what I'm doing at the age of 56. It's like, where is this going to go? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I want to share with anyone else who might be out there, especially caregiving moms and dads, especially you guys who face the incredible daily challenge of caring for this medically complex child or caring for an adult who, doesn't have anyone else to look over them. People people who are devoting their life and their energy and their resources to keep somebody else alive and happy and well. It is incredible. And it's a really big reality that a lot of people don't pay attention to. It's such a commitment and such a sacrifice, and a lot of people don't really survive that long term journey of it, but some do. I'm trying. I'm so incredibly amazed at how much my heart is growing since I've learned to live from my heart. Like I let go. I let go. I never used to let go. Um, the grudges and things that people have done to me and the hurt and the pain. I used to like. It used to really, really, really be difficult, but I let it go. And there are people who make me feel upset, so I have boundaries. Very, very challenging sometimes. But like I said, I've learned to live from my heart and let go of that which really isn't serving me. I think purpose is sometimes a difficult concept for a caregiver. Purpose. Initially, people say to you, "Oh, God gave you this challenge. He knows you can handle it. You're so strong. You can do it. You're amazing. I couldn't do what you're doing." And I don't mean purpose in terms of the responsibility you have out of your love for someone that you're caring for. I mean purpose as defined by your highest self in connection with universal love. So like a bigger purpose. And I don't necessarily feel that God gave me Daniel because I'm a superhero. Maybe he did. I don't know. But when people say that to you and then they just go about their business, it's like, well, thank you, but yeah, I'm exhausted. So I know that I have a bigger purpose and I can feel it. I can sense it. It's right there in the vibration of my thoughts, in my dreams, in my manifesting of making impossible things here just become possible, and in my desire to give back and give to other people of this knowledge that I somehow have developed. But how? How do I do all that? What am I doing, right? How is my challenge? How? How is this? So then I say, okay, self, well, what do I do? What am I doing? And my intuition keeps telling me to just trust the process, to keep working, keep listening, keep giving, keep being authentic, be true, keep living from your heart and listening in to the meditations that are coming to you synchronistically. I mean, I find a treasure trove of tips and strategies to navigate the development of living from a heart. It is a beautiful journey I'm on. And I think at this point, I just want to start sharing some of these tools that have helped me really shift and transition. And the first tool and the main focus of this podcast is meditation. So, tool number one in Julie's Adapted Life Toolkit is meditation. It is the first thing I found that really helped me to connect with my highest self, which I didn't know that I could actually do. And it itself, meditation can be very intimidating for someone who hasn't ever meditated. They think of it as, sitting cross-legged on a pillow with your hands out like this in silence for hours. And really it's not that. It's just time spent in stillness. And it can be 5 minutes. It can be an hour. It can be 30 minutes. It can be whatever works. But the focus is not on what kind of meditation, guided music, whatever, but more on just being able to be still and breathe. And we're not trying to eliminate people's thoughts. We're trying to teach you how to let the thoughts just go and focus inward and be present in the moment. So it's a really interesting skill to learn. And if it's something that scares people, try 5 minutes just and find a guided meditation. There's so many. So I always put a plug for Insight Timer only because it was, I moved from some of the other platforms that I found. I'm in the App Store looking for meditation. Insight Timer popped up as being very, very popular because it's a free platform. And there are like levels you can pay, but in the beginning it was a free platform, so you could just go in there and say, I want to meditate for 10 minutes, and if you want to go deeper you can filter. Okay, so I want to meditate about abundance, and then it would bring up, you know abundance meditations from people all over the place, right? So you could just click on it and say, okay, I want to do this one from this lady, and turn it on and listen to it, and then afterwards you can rate it, and you can, you know kind of build your own little platform in there of the things that interest you and the things that really spark. You put things in your favorites. So what I did on Inside Timer is I signed up for a premium membership. It was like a yearly fee. I don't think it was that much. Um, $50 maybe. I don't know. But it allows you to take their courses, which are like a step up. I love that. I love that I can take a course, like a 10-day course with someone on chakra cleansing or just deep meditation. And there's some favorites I have in there now that I just keep going back to. And then I can try new things, right? I did one about writing poetry, and I did one about um, channeling. I just did one. Yeah, I'm doing one about, channeling and using your intuition, and just all different kinds of beautiful, beautiful concepts that you can explore and learn. So it's really not rocket science here. And I think there's a lot of different ways to bring meditation into your life, especially for caregivers. I mean, what worked best for me was mornings. So I developed a morning ritual because in the morning I seem very clear and able to absorb and just, kind of let this process take over me. I wake up really early now, early enough most days to take my dogs out, and I developed a little sacred space downstairs where I sit in a favorite chair with my morning coffee and my journal. And I have many journals. I also started journaling around the same time I started meditating. I mean, I always journaled, but this is like journaling to the things that I'm meditating to and the courses I'm taking, and whatever comes to me. So I take my AirPods and my phone and I log in to my Insight Timer where I have, courses. And sometimes there's a challenge. Like right now, there's an affirmation challenge. So every day in July, they are featuring a short affirmation and meditation. So right now I do that, and then I do something from my list of courses that I'm taking. Um, Honestly, there's even insight timer courses on how to develop a morning ritual for meditating. So there's lots of different ways you can explore and discover, or just sit and just breathe for a few minutes. Journal a little bit, whatever works for you. In the beginning, my meditations were completely me in Daniel's room when he was sleeping. And I would sit in the chair in there, and it would be like just 5 or 10 minutes. Oh, he's asleep. Okay, I'm just going to sit here. And when I began to desire more time and stillness, that's when I started doing it earlier in the morning. And now I can't live without it. It is like I would rather meditate. If I had a choice between my meditation and my coffee, I need the meditation. That's how much I love it. And that's a lot. If you know me, I love my coffee. So, scientifically, also, I guess they say there are many meditation benefits to meditation. I mean, I have firsthand found myself calmer, less affected by stress, less affected by problems that happen, interpersonal problems. I think I'm more competent in the development of tools dealing with all the challenges that I have. I just feel calmer and clearer. It's like I'm able to look at everything through a lens of love and gratitude, and it makes it easier for me to maneuver even when it's a big problem, which problems happen, we all have them, but it doesn't give me the same kind of panic and fears it used to. So I really believe in it. And nursing agency, see, nursing agency is calling me. See, this is my life. But um, I enjoy breath work and learning about the chakras and doing journey work and just really exploring all the different guides and coaches and how they teach others to go inward and take advantage of the hidden treasures of learning to see with new perspective for that which is right here, right now, in this moment, here and during this breath, what is literally sitting in your beautiful energetic space. So I love it. I love it so much. And I hope someday to meditate with others. Well, I do technically, because there's like a million zillion people meditating, even on Insight Timer in the morning. It'll tell you there's XYZ amount of people also meditating with you right now at 7 a.m. in the morning. So for now, I meditate daily, and I have my cat, my dog, and my two dogs usually around me. And I have my meditation space right near the windows, and I can look out at all the beautiful nature that exists outside my home right here in Connecticut. And I really enjoy that. It's just very, very peaceful and also productive. Like, it takes my brain to a different space. And I really began to see who I am. And I'm 56. Like, it, whatever, right? It's just so powerful, and it's helped me so much that I have to put it as my first thing on my toolkit. So I encourage you to try. Find a quiet moment, no matter how small. Use a guided meditation like I do. Listen to ambient music if you like music, or just sit quietly and be in stillness and just focus on just breathing. Um, I don't know. You can really find many different ways to calm yourself down and just focus on being present and mindfulness training, and it's all about mindset change and being present and seeing life through a different lens. I've actually done my own little scientific experiments too, like taking my heart rate while I'm watching and doing meditations. I have my Apple Watch on, and it monitors my heart rate. And every single time I go into like a deep transformational meditation, I see my heart rate just go down, down, and then it calms down, and I'm breathing nice and slow. And they say that this really does minimize and reduce the amount of cortisone that our bodies produce. Like when you were always in fight or flight and we're always like stressed out, our bodies, you know, I don't know how to put it. I guess that basically makes more fat. So losing weight has been easier also for me since meditating. And I think vibrationally, I'm on a different plane too. So I feel like I'm just happier and more loving with myself, and that helps as well with just self-care and self-improvement. So in conclusion, guys, I just want to stress this gift of meditation has revealed for me greater ease in making sense of my life, uh, listening to spirit and absorbing love and light. As things are revealed to me, I journal them. It's how I learned about poets I haven't heard of. It's how I learned about books I really should read, and then they really talk to me, and how to manage my anxiety over technical things and financial things, and how to manifest and bring the impossible into a reality of infinite possibility. And it's brought me to a place where I know that I want to expand into something greater to share. Um, and it's also just a lovely way to stop your mind from spinning and take care of your soul. The ways to stillness are also infinite, but the benefits are just undeniable. So in my life, I've had to adapt to a reality, guys, that sometimes feels like a pressure cooker of hopelessness. I mean, it's like I'm trapped and I'm unable to breathe, pummeled by difficulties of dealing with all the things that are just there every day after day after day. Insurance companies and so many bills, and I can't catch up. And it's like lists and lists and lists. My list of to dos could probably wrap around the outside of my house 3 times and still not be finished. I'm not the person I thought I was going to be when I was a younger me. I am not the person today that I was even a couple years ago. I am in this moment now finding love and encouragement from places I didn't even know existed. And from you who are listening, because gosh, I really hope somebody is listening. I don't know. I hope somebody's listening. I don't know. I'm still Daniel's caregiver, and I'm managing that, and I love him so much. But managing that list and trying to make sense of all of it, and make his life as good as I can, and also dig into my bigger dreams. I see love, I see hope, I see light. I'm always excited to create, and I'm so very grateful for little synchronistic things that just pop up, and I capture them and I cherish them, and I'm grateful for them. And yeah, grateful, grateful. Each door is each little thing that happens, each little gift, each little miracle, each tidbit of learning or kindness that I receive is a door to more or I can't talk, to more exploration and more people to meet, more things to explore. Giving, growing, positivity is undeniably a tool for just growth and expansion. And I'm really serious. It's pretty freaking awesome. I don't feel alone anymore, even when I'm alone. So in my role here, I used to feel so isolated, but I feel like I'm a greater presence, and I'm a part. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. But I feel rather that I'm a part of a greater presence and a greater connection through the purpose that I'm coming into. So let's adapt. Let's adapt together. It's been pretty beautiful to be me lately, and I am not too altruistic because life is still challenging. But all I'm saying is I'm seeing it from a different Julie. I don't know. So please tune in and keep checking in with me and watch the channel. We love putting videos on there, me and Danielle, and whatever's happening. And I have some great friends there. You can follow along with my quirky random life expressions as they come along, and keep listening to the podcast. And I'll share another tool next time in Julie's adapted life tool journey. So I hope that you are listening and knowing that you are not alone, and that there are tools that can help you be more in tune with your intuition. And there's ways to try to maneuver what might seem completely impossible. It doesn't make it go away, but it just brings more light to it and more possibility. And that's pretty cool because you never know what's going to happen. Anything can happen. It's very exciting. I keep saying anything can happen. So keep seeking, never give up, shine your light. I am so grateful, and you are light and you are love, and I will see you next time. Peace from the Adapted Life.